Another component to order of operations is changing written expression or word form into numerical expression or numbers. So in this example, I'm given the product of 8 and 2 divided by 2. I'm given the word form and I'm asked to write the numerical form. So I have to interpret the words and understand my vocabulary. So the word product I know means multiplication. Of, whenever I see the word of, I know that the numbers to follow are always going to go in parentheses. What that tells the person who might potentially solve this problem is that, okay, you do this first. They've got to be grouped together. So I need to group my 8 and my 2 and then divide it by 2. So what this would look like would be the product of 8 and 2. I get my multiplication symbol from the word product, divided by 2. Now these problems we don't actually solve and get an answer for. We just go from one form to another, so written to numeric. Let's say I were to be given, now the basic ones, of course, 8 plus 10, the quotient of 2, or the quotient of 4 and 2. Things like that are basic. This is a two-step where you have two different operations. Whenever you have two different operations, these are kind of my key words, product and divided. I know that I'm going to have parentheses somewhere in my answer. Now let's flip it. If I were to be given the numeric form, let's say I was going to be given 10 minus 4 divided by 2. Okay, I could write it a couple different ways. Problems like this, there are usually more than one answer as long as your vocabulary is correct, and the way in which you write it implies that you would write it with parentheses, which is super important because that tells the person, okay, this is what I know to do first. So I could write this 10 minus the quotient of 4 and 2. The word of would tell me to put parentheses. Or I could do 10 minus 4 divided by 2. I could take the quotient of 4 and 2 away from 10. There are several different ways to write it. As long as that vocabulary is correct and it implies where your grouping symbols go, then it is right.